Have you ever thought that simply walking more could be the secret to staying vibrant and healthy after 70, only to find yourself feeling stiffer, weaker, or even wobbly over time? You're not alone. Many Americans believe walking alone can fend off aging, but what if that daily stroll is quietly letting your strength, balance, and independence slip away? In this video, we uncover the surprising truth about why walking isn't enough and reveal 5 essential priorities that can transform your health, protect your joints, and help you live stronger and longer. Relying solely on walking might seem like a solid plan, but medical experts now warn it could accelerate decline past 70, leaving you vulnerable to muscle loss, falls, and joint pain. This isn't about giving up your walks. It's about supercharging your routine with practical, science-backed strategies tailored for the American lifestyle, using familiar units like pounds and feet. From preserving muscle mass to boosting coordination, these tips are designed to keep you self-sufficient, whether it's carrying groceries or playing with grandkids. Watch until the end because we're sharing a game-changing, rarely discussed gem that could unlock the key to your longevity. Plus, you'll get simple at-home tests to gauge your strength, balance, and flexibility today. Don't miss out. Stick with us to discover how small changes can make a big difference in staying active, confident, and independent well into your golden years. Hit that like button and let's dive in. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support means a lot to me, and if you enjoyed this video, you can help me continue spreading the valuable lessons by liking and sharing it. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Strength training to preserve muscle mass is essential, especially as we age. Walking is undoubtedly a wonderful form of exercise. It's simple, accessible, and supports a basic level of movement, something every adult needs to maintain their independence. But while walking is fantastic for cardiovascular health, it has one significant drawback. It doesn't give your muscles the challenge they need to stay strong. If walking is the only form of physical activity in your routine, you may be unknowingly setting yourself up for a dangerous, hidden risk: muscle loss. Once we cross into our 70s, our bodies naturally begin to experience a decline in muscle mass and strength, a condition known as sarcopenia. It's a slow, insidious process that doesn't announce itself with any dramatic signs. Instead, it creeps in over time, quietly threatening our ability to stay independent. This decline in muscle mass isn't just a trivial matter. It can gradually rob you of your ability to handle everyday tasks, things you once took for granted, like carrying groceries, standing up from a chair without assistance, or climbing stairs without feeling winded. It increases the risk of falls, which could lead to serious injuries, and it diminishes your overall quality of life. Walking, for all its benefits to the heart and cardiovascular system, doesn't effectively preserve your muscle mass. While it certainly works the lower body, the calves, thighs, and hamstrings, it's a low-resistance activity. It doesn't create the kind of challenge needed to preserve and strengthen your muscles. For that, you need resistance training. Resistance exercises are essential for combating the muscle loss that naturally occurs with age. They work directly against sarcopenia, helping to rebuild muscle tissue, preserve strength, improve balance, and increase your physical capacity to take care of yourself. When you start adding strength training into your routine, you begin to notice the little victories, the moments when you realize your muscles are still working for you. Maybe you can carry that heavy bag of groceries with ease, or you rise from your chair without hesitation, or you open that jar lid without a second thought. If these everyday activities are still within your comfort zone, that's a positive sign that your muscle strength is holding up. But if you've begun to notice that you're hesitating before lifting anything heavy, or that getting up from your chair is starting to feel like a struggle, that's a subtle warning. It's a sign that your muscles may be fading, even if the change has been so gradual you hardly noticed. Let me share a story about someone like Bob. At 74, Bob was a retiree who believed he had all the bases covered. Every morning, he would walk briskly through his neighborhood, racking up a couple of miles and feeling proud of himself for staying active. He thought this routine was enough to keep him healthy and strong. But then, one day, while lifting a box at home, a box that he had easily handled in the past, he found himself struggling. The box that once felt light now seemed too heavy. Later that week, he realized he had to rock forward and push off the arms of his chair just to stand up. Bob brushed it off as just part of getting older. After all, everyone feels the effects of aging, right? But when he went for his regular checkup, his doctor gave him a reality check. He wasn't just experiencing the normal effects of aging, his muscles were deteriorating, and walking alone wasn't enough to combat the loss. Sarcopenia was quietly doing its work, and without targeted effort, his muscle mass would continue to shrink. Motivated to take action, Bob started adding basic strength workouts to his routine. He didn't need to join a gym or invest in expensive equipment. Instead, he began with simple tools like resistance bands, bodyweight squats, and a set of dumbbells, things that allowed him to start small, keep things manageable, and avoid feeling overwhelmed. Just 10 minutes a day, a few times a week was all it took to make a real difference. Within a few short months, the improvement was undeniable. Bob could lift that box again without breaking a sweat. He could rise from his chair without thinking twice, and he felt more energized and capable during his morning walks. The key wasn't to bulk up or push himself to extremes. Strength training can be as gentle and effective as doing leg lifts with resistance bands while seated or curling soup cans while watching his favorite show. The most important factor is progressive resistance, challenging your muscles just enough to help them stay strong, functional, and responsive. And the benefits of strength training go far beyond just feeling stronger. Research shows that maintaining healthy muscle mass as we age is linked to a longer lifespan, sharper cognitive function, better movement, and a lower risk of chronic diseases like diabetes and osteoporosis. Strong muscles help protect your bones, boost your immune system, and give you the physical capability to enjoy life well into your later years. Want to assess your strength? Try this simple test. Sit in a chair and attempt to stand up without using your hands. If it feels effortless, that's a great sign your muscles are still in good shape. But if you struggle, wobble, or can't complete the motion, that's a red flag. It's your body's way of telling you that your muscles need attention. The truth is, muscle loss doesn't just happen overnight. It's a gradual process that can sneak up on you. But the good news is, you don't have to accept it. With the right kind of exercise, you can stop sarcopenia in its tracks and maintain the strength, independence, and vitality that will keep you living your best life for years to come. The most uplifting and inspiring part of this journey is that it's never, ever too late to begin. No matter how old you are, it's always possible to reclaim what seems lost. Studies show that even those in their 80s and 90s can rebuild muscle mass, regain lost strength, and improve their balance with consistent, steady effort. Isn't that a powerful thought? So, if walking has been your primary form of exercise, let this be a reminder you desperately need. Muscle isn't just about looking strong. It's your body's greatest line of defense against aging. After 70, your muscle strength becomes not only an asset but a shield, a vital resource that can protect your independence and your health. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Balance exercises, something many overlook, are your secret weapons in this fight against aging. Walking is great, don't get me wrong. It keeps you moving, helps you get from point A to point B, and is essential for mobility. But here's a truth that often gets swept under the rug. Walking, no matter how often you do it, doesn't significantly improve your balance. Many people make the mistake of assuming that just because they can walk upright, their balance is rock solid. But that belief, as innocent as it seems, could be quietly setting them up for disaster. As you age, especially after the age of 70, keeping your balance in check becomes critical for staying healthy, active, and most importantly, self-reliant. A fall isn't just a little bump or bruise. It's one of the leading causes of severe injuries in older adults, often resulting in fractures, hospital stays, and long, painful recovery periods. And what's even more shocking is that most falls don't happen simply because your muscles have weakened, though that can be a factor. More often than not, it's because of a lack of balance, the delicate coordination between your muscles, joints, and nervous system that's gradually lost over time unless actively maintained. If you aren't intentionally working on improving your balance, you might be unknowingly setting yourself up for slips, trips, and even catastrophic falls. You might think, "I've been walking for decades, surely my balance is fine." But here's the truth. Balance is not a skill you just get to keep for a lifetime without any effort. It's like your muscles. If you don't actively use them, they'll weaken over time, and your balance will deteriorate. Walking moves you forward, yes, but it doesn't activate the smaller, stabilizing muscles in your feet, ankles, hips, and core, the ones that keep you upright when life surprises you. A wet floor, uneven pavement, or even just turning quickly can send you off balance in an instant. Without strengthening those critical support muscles, even the smallest misstep could result in a fall that sidelines you for weeks or robs you of your independence. Take a moment to reflect. When was the last time you stood on one foot to put on a sock or reached up high to grab something from a shelf? Did you feel steady, or did you catch yourself leaning, grabbing for furniture, or hesitating with every step? Many people don't realize their balance is slipping until they have that unsettling moment. A close call that shakes their confidence and leaves them second-guessing their every move. That's exactly what happened to Ed, a 76-year-old man who, for years, prided himself on staying active. He walked his dog every day, tended to his yard, and rarely sat still. But one afternoon, while chatting with a neighbor, Ed stepped off a curb the wrong way, and suddenly, his foot caught at the edge. He began to lose his balance. It was a frightening moment, but he managed to grab a street sign just in time to prevent himself from falling. That close call left him shaken to his core. He had done this hundreds of times before without even thinking, so why now? The very idea that something as simple as stepping off a curb could become unstable was a wake-up call. When Ed mentioned it to his doctor, the advice was clear and simple. He needed to start focusing on balance exercises because walking alone wasn't enough. The doctor recommended activities that were simple yet effective. Standing on one leg while brushing his teeth, shifting his weight gently from side to side, or practicing slow, controlled walking, placing one foot directly in front of the other, heel to toe. Ed started small, doing just a few minutes of balance exercises each day, always staying close to a counter or chair for support. But in just a few weeks, he felt a real difference. His confidence returned, his posture improved, and the unstable feelings started to fade. Even more amazing, Ed realized he could now turn quickly to follow his dog without hesitation. The best part is that you don't need special equipment or a gym membership to improve your balance. You can do these movements right in the comfort of your own home. Try lifting one foot while the kettle heats up, walking along an imaginary straight line like a tightrope, or even attempting a tree pose, even if you've never tried yoga before. These small, simple exercises do more than just prevent falls. They improve your stability and your overall strength. And they bring a sense of confidence, independence, and vitality that you truly deserve. Don't wait until a near miss happens to make this a priority in your life. Improved balance is so much more than just standing upright. It's the foundation for every movement you make. It's the key to maintaining alignment, improving reaction times, and achieving smoother body control, which ultimately makes everything from walking to bending down feel natural, safe, and confident. Think about how much your balance affects your day-to-day activities. Have you ever wondered how well your balance holds up? Here's a simple test. Find a counter or something sturdy to hold onto for support. Lift one foot off the ground and see if you can remain steady for at least 10 seconds without tipping over or reaching for something to steady yourself. If you can do it without a second thought, you're on the right path. But if it's challenging, don't worry. This is your sign to start working on improving that foundation now. The truth is that falling doesn't have to be an inevitable part of aging. With consistent balance training, you can retain your stability and independence for years to come, well into your later decades. Now, let's talk about flexibility and mobility. You may be surprised to know that walking alone, while great for stamina, doesn't cover all your bases when it comes to keeping your joints and muscles healthy. As we age, our bodies begin to stiffen in ways we don't always notice right away. Muscles shorten, joints lose their fluidity, and the full range of motion we once took for granted starts to fade away. Think back to when you used to twist your body with ease, glance over your shoulder while driving, or squat down to pick something up without even thinking about it. Did those actions feel effortless? Or did you notice that your body was beginning to protest? Maybe it's that feeling of tightness in your neck when you try to turn and check for traffic, or the awkward pull in your lower back when you bend over to tie your shoes. These little signs are often brushed off, but they're your body telling you that something's changing, and not for the better. Reduced flexibility is more than just an inconvenience. It's a barrier to your freedom. Everyday movements, once so simple, become more challenging when your body isn't as flexible. Getting out of a chair, stepping over the edge of a bathtub, reaching up to grab a high shelf, these once mundane tasks can suddenly feel like obstacles, undermining your confidence and independence. Unfortunately, many people don't fully realize the importance of maintaining flexibility until they start to lose it. While walking is undeniably beneficial for your legs and heart, it doesn't stretch your muscles through their full range of motion, nor does it engage your joints in the variety of movements they need to stay agile. Health professionals have begun to emphasize the importance of dedicated flexibility and mobility routines to keep aging bodies healthy, which is why it's crucial to incorporate these practices into your daily life. Think about the last time you had to reach into the back seat of your car or lift something overhead. Did it feel easy, fluid, and natural? Or did you notice a little stiffness, maybe even a slight ache in your shoulder or back? Many people chalk this up to getting older, but it's not just about aging. It's about the gradual loss of flexibility and mobility that happens when we don't actively work to preserve it. Muscles, ligaments, and tendons tighten with time, and synovial fluid, which helps our joints move smoothly, decreases. The result? Motions that were once effortless now feel strained or uncomfortable. Take Walt, for instance, a 78-year-old who had always prided himself on his daily morning walks. He stayed active, but over time, he began to notice that his body wasn't moving the way it used to. Every morning, getting out of bed felt stiffer, bending down to pick up a sock became a struggle, and he found himself twisting his body in unnatural ways to compensate for the tightness in his back and hips. Concerned, he visited his doctor, who explained that this wasn't just the result of aging. It was because Walt hadn't been fully engaging his joints through their full range of motion. While his walks kept his legs active, they didn't address the stiffness in his shoulders, back, and hips. The solution was simple yet powerful: a regular stretching and mobility routine. Walt started with gentle dynamic stretches like leg swings and arm circles, gradually incorporating controlled movements like side bends and hip rotations. He even added yoga-inspired stretches designed specifically for older adults to restore joint function and comfort. It wasn't long before Walt felt the difference. His body became more fluid, his movements less strained, and his confidence returned. By addressing the tightness before it became a bigger issue, he was able to enjoy his daily activities without discomfort or fear of injury. Flexibility is not just an afterthought. It's a critical part of maintaining independence, confidence, and freedom of movement as we age. The sooner you start incorporating flexibility and mobility exercises into your routine, the easier it will be to keep living life on your terms. Within just a few short weeks, the transformation was nothing short of remarkable. It wasn't just subtle. Every aspect of his movement began to show signs of profound improvement. His joints, which had once protested with each step, now moved with an effortless grace. The stiffness that had plagued his mornings, the kind that made every step feel like a struggle, began to melt away. Slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, his posture began to change as well. He stood taller, shoulders back, and with a newfound confidence that he hadn't felt in years. It was as if his body was reminding him of the vitality it still had within, even after all these years. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. And here's the thing. Flexibility training doesn't need to be overwhelming or a daunting, complex routine. It's about simple, mindful movements that anyone can do, whether you're in your 30s or well into your 70s. Just imagine rolling your neck gently, releasing all the tension in your upper spine, followed by a few shoulder shrugs to ease that ever-present tightness. Or consider the simple act of bringing one knee toward your chest, loosening up your hips, and bringing back a sense of freedom to your body. Even rotating your ankles, just a little every day, keeps your feet feeling light and mobile, preventing that stiff, rigid sensation that comes with aging. These movements, so small yet so powerful, work to retain the natural lubrication in your joints, helping to reduce that feeling of tightness and restoring fluidity to your everyday motions. The benefits of flexibility go so much deeper than simply feeling more comfortable in your body. A greater range of motion isn't just about flexibility. It's about easing the aches that come with the territory of getting older. It improves circulation, nourishing your joints and muscles with the blood flow they so desperately need. And perhaps most importantly, it significantly enhances your posture, which in turn lowers the chances of falling, a concern that becomes increasingly critical as we age. I can't emphasize this enough. Maintaining mobility is not just about comfort. It's about keeping your body strong and stable as you navigate the world. If you're wondering how flexible you are right now, here's a quick test. Stand tall, feet aligned with your shoulders, and rotate your head slowly to the right, then to the left. Notice how it feels. Does the motion feel free and natural, or do you sense resistance, tension, or even pain as you move? If there's even a hint of tightness, it's a clear indication that your flexibility needs attention. But the best part? It's never too late to improve. The truth is that limited mobility doesn't have to be permanent. You have the power to change it, and it can be done with small, consistent steps. Just 10 to 15 minutes a day of stretching or gentle movement can keep your body feeling loose, capable, and pain-free long into your golden years. So, if you've been relying on walking as your primary form of exercise, now is the perfect time to complement it with flexibility training. Stretching and mobility work are not just about adding years to your life. They're about adding quality to those years, ensuring that you maintain your freedom, energy, and independence as you age. Now, let's talk about core and posture exercises. While walking is an excellent way to keep your legs active and your heart in good shape, it does little to strengthen the muscles in your core or maintain healthy posture. These two factors, core strength and posture, become even more critical as we cross the 70-year threshold. It's easy to assume that having a strong core means just having defined abs, but it's so much more than that. It's about creating a stable foundation that supports every movement your body makes. Your core isn't just your stomach muscles. It's a team of muscles that work in harmony, including your deep abdominals, obliques, and lower back. These muscles are responsible for keeping your spine aligned, supporting your posture, and maintaining your balance. When your core starts to weaken, even in small ways, you might begin to notice lower back pain, poor posture, or the tendency to hunch over while walking. These subtle signs are your body's way of telling you that something needs attention. Over time, these seemingly small issues can snowball. That initial slouching becomes chronic. That occasional lower back discomfort turns into something more consistent, and before you know it, you're more prone to misalignments and falls. Yet, so many people overlook the importance of core strength until they're faced with the consequences. If you find yourself slouching more than usual, if your lower back feels tight and sore after sitting for a while, or if you struggle to maintain an upright posture while talking to someone, these are unmistakable signs that your core is no longer doing its job. Walking is fantastic for circulation and keeping your legs strong, but it doesn't activate the deep stabilizing muscles that support your spine and posture. This is why experts are now urging older adults to integrate core and posture exercises into their daily routines. These exercises help you move confidently, avoid discomfort, and maintain physical alignment as your body ages. Take Harry, for example. He's 75 and has always been active, sticking to his daily walks. But despite his dedication, he started noticing changes. His shoulders began to curve forward, his lower back felt tighter and more sore, and standing for long periods was becoming a challenge. He chalked it up to aging. After all, he had always been so active, so surely these were just the inevitable signs of getting older. But what he didn't realize was that his core was weakening, and with it, his body was losing the support it needed to function at its best. Harry's story began as many do. He was struggling with chronic back pain, a persistent ache that seemed to follow him wherever he went. Yet, his doctor offered an unexpected explanation that opened his eyes to the true cause of his discomfort. It wasn't just bad luck or the natural course of aging, but rather the neglect of his core strength that had led his posture to falter. This subtle misalignment had put unnecessary pressure on his spine and joints, quietly but steadily worsening his back pain and increasing his risk of losing his balance. The realization was a wake-up call. Motivated to regain control of his body, Harry began a core strengthening regimen that seemed deceptively simple, yet was transformative. He started with seated pelvic tilts to activate his lower abs, a move so basic yet powerful in its ability to reawaken dormant muscles. Standing posture resets became part of his daily routine, gradually restoring his alignment, and abdominal bracing exercises built the deep, internal strength that had been lacking for so long. Within just a few weeks, the results were nothing short of remarkable. His back pain, once a constant companion, began to fade into the background. He found himself standing taller, effortlessly, as though his body had remembered its natural state of balance. The most unexpected gift, however, was the improvement in his breathing. He felt lighter, freer, and more at ease. This simple change in his routine had delivered results he never anticipated. The beauty of core exercises lies in their accessibility. You don't need expensive equipment, and you certainly don't need a gym membership to get started. All you need is a willingness to focus on your body and its needs. Lean against a wall to help retrain your posture, gently tighten your lower abdominals while sitting to build internal strength, or slowly rotate your torso from side to side to engage the muscles that support your center. These small movements, done consistently, hold the power to transform your body. They reconnect you with the muscles that support your spine and, by extension, your overall balance. The benefits of a stronger core extend far beyond just improved posture. As your core strengthens, so does your balance, as the muscles responsible for stabilizing your body become more effective. Your knees and hips feel less pressure, and you'll be amazed at how these simple exercises can even improve digestion, as the abdominal muscles assist in supporting your internal organs. You might not see these benefits immediately, but over time, they ripple outward in unexpected ways, creating a foundation for a healthier, more mobile body. But how do you know if your core strength is where it should be? Here's a simple test you can try. Stand with your back flat against a wall, ensuring that your head, shoulders, and hips all make contact with the surface. Now, see if you can hold this position comfortably for 30 seconds. Does it feel natural and easy, or do you find yourself straining to maintain the position? If it's the latter, it's a clear sign that your core strength and posture need a little more attention. Don't ignore it. The earlier you begin to focus on strengthening these muscles, the better. A strong core doesn't just prevent future injuries. It supports your mobility and helps you stand tall and vibrant, no matter your age. As we age, our bodies undergo natural changes that can make even the simplest movements feel more challenging. Walking, one of the most accessible forms of exercise, has become a go-to for many seniors. It's heart-healthy, easy on the joints, and convenient. But as wonderful as walking is, it can sometimes put more strain on your joints than we realize, especially in our 70s and beyond. Over the years, our cartilage wears down, joint fluid decreases, and the shock-absorbing cushion in areas like the knees, hips, and ankles diminishes. This leads to common signs of joint stress: stiff knees after a walk, tight hips when standing up, or lingering foot pain no matter how often you move. These are issues even the most dedicated walkers can experience. The issue isn't walking itself. It's that walking alone doesn't provide the full range of support your joints need to stay strong and flexible. Many people mistakenly assume that joint pain is just a natural part of aging, but that's not entirely true. Stiffness, discomfort, and reduced mobility often worsen when our joints aren't being actively cared for with joint-friendly movements. If we don't take action to strengthen and protect these areas, the wear and tear only gets worse. That's why it's important to incorporate exercises that protect your joints while still keeping you moving. A combination of core strengthening, low-impact activities, and joint-focused exercises will go a long way in keeping you agile and pain-free as you age. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Walking might seem like a simple, low-impact activity compared to more strenuous exercises like running, but make no mistake, it still exerts repetitive pressure on the same joints over and over again with every single step. While walking is kinder to the body than high-impact exercises, it doesn't come without its risks. Over time, that constant pressure can begin to take its toll on the body, especially if you aren't supplementing it with exercises that stabilize, cushion, and support your joints. Without these crucial additions, you might unknowingly speed up the wear and tear on your body, leaving you with aches and pains that could have been avoided. That's why, as we age, it's important to reassess our routines, especially if walking has been the cornerstone of our fitness habits. If walking is leaving you with discomfort, it might be time to ease off a little. Doctors and fitness professionals now recommend adjusting your routine to include gentler, more joint-friendly movements that promote long-term mobility and comfort. These adjustments aren't about stopping physical activity. They're about ensuring that your body stays strong and sustainable for years to come. Think about your last walk. When you finished, did you feel light, refreshed, and energized, as though you could take on the world? Or, like many of us, did you find your knees aching, your hips stiffening, or your legs dragging from fatigue? If your body felt the second way, then it might be trying to send you a message. It's asking for a bit more support, a bit more care. Take Ray, for example. At 77 years old, Ray had always sworn by his daily walking routine. He believed it was his secret to staying healthy and fit. For many years, this approach worked wonders. But gradually, Ray noticed that his body was starting to react differently. He woke up with stiffness in his knees, and after each walk, his lower back would groan in protest. Confused and concerned, Ray went to see his doctor, who explained that the repetitive stress of daily walking was causing more damage than his joints could recover from. His joints were being worn down faster than they could heal, a common issue for older adults who stick to the same movement patterns without variation. But the solution wasn't to stop being active. It wasn't about giving up his cherished walks or becoming sedentary. Instead, it was about making adjustments. Ray started incorporating more joint-friendly activities into his routine. He swapped some of his longer walks for gentle swimming sessions that took the pressure off his joints. He added stationary biking to keep his legs engaged but without the strain. And he embraced simple chair-based stretches to maintain his range of motion. Within weeks, the stiffness in his knees started to ease, his back pain diminished, and he felt more at ease in his body than he had in years. The beauty of these gentle movements is that they don't just reduce the risk of joint damage. They actively support and nurture your joints. Activities like water aerobics, tai chi, or even seated leg lifts don't just limit wear and tear. They promote joint health by increasing circulation to the cartilage, enhancing the flow of synovial fluid, the body's natural joint lubricant, and strengthening the muscles around your hips, knees, and ankles. The results are truly transformative. Less discomfort, smoother movement, and a foundation of strength that keeps you mobile, independent, and able to enjoy life fully as you age. Want to quickly assess how well your joints are doing? Try a simple test. Sit up straight in a chair, then slowly rise to your feet without using your hands. Pay attention to how your hips and knees respond. Do you move smoothly, or do you feel tightness, cracking, or discomfort? If there's any resistance or discomfort, your joints might be signaling that they need more than just the daily walk to stay strong and supple. Taking care of your joints isn't just about avoiding pain, it's about safeguarding your ability to move freely and confidently. It's about climbing stairs without hesitation, tending to your garden, or getting down on the floor to play with your grandkids. Every action you take in life depends on healthy, functioning joints. So, if walking has been your go-to exercise, it might be time to add a few more joint-loving activities to the mix. A small change today can make sure that every step you take in the future is light, comfortable, and free of strain. As we've explored today, taking care of our joints is so much more than just avoiding pain. It's about preserving our freedom to move with confidence as we age. We've learned that small changes in how we move, whether it's swapping out a daily walk for a gentler exercise or incorporating stretches to keep our muscles engaged, can make all the difference in maintaining mobility, reducing discomfort, and living a more active, independent life. So, what have you learned today? Perhaps you've realized that your joints may need more support than you thought, or maybe you're already planning to incorporate some of these joint-friendly activities into your routine. Whatever it may be, I'd love to hear from you. Please take a moment to comment below. Share one thing you've learned today and how you plan to apply it to your daily life. Remember, every small step towards better joint health is a step towards a more vibrant, active future. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more helpful tips and advice. Thank you for watching, and keep moving with confidence.